sit.
So.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yes. I'm ready always.
Hello, I'm Mama Brownie, and you are listening to Unfiltered and Undiagnosed. And today we have our second guest of the podcast,
Woo!
Zaniah.
That's me.
You want to give us a little introduction?
Sure. Okay, so as you heard, my artist name is Zaniah. Mein bürgerlicher Name, I don't know how to say that in English. Documented name is Zahra Maria Abbasi. And I'm a dancer, choreographer, MC, DJ, party promoter, community builder, queer, person of color, born and raised in Hamburg City 040. I'm also the mother of the Kickers of Marciano. Yes,
Yeah.
one of the two German mothers, and also a member of the iconic, international, unforgettable Empire House of Revlon.
Come on, introduction.
The one and only Zaniah Revlon.
Bam. So the topic, well, thank you so much for being here. I always forget that because I'm just like, jump right in.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Thank you for having me so spontaneously.
Like, hey, Zaniah, you busy right now?
I'm self-employed, so
Yes.
I'm never busy.
Never and always.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the topic of today's podcast is community.
Yes, I love community so much.
Oh, that didn't play.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, because we're both a little intertwined in community work.
Yes.
You can hear the
For
enthusiasm.
sure. It's great. It's great.
So there's I don't know if you remember, but once Alok came to Hamburg.
Yes.
And then I got invited to one of the PR dinners, and it was full of like magazine people, like Bravo. Well, not really Bravo, but you know, like
I get the vibe. Yeah.
and they were all asking about the fashion and the looks, and then I was like, so how do you keep yourself sustainable while doing community work? Like, how do you not end up being a drained raisin?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question.
They had a really good answer, but I would love to know that. But before we go there, what are some of the work that you have done for community?
So for those that know me in Hamburg, I'm very active in the ballroom community, especially. Me and Ava founded a ballroom collective in 2023. It's called Me on Mondays, Grab a Drink and Vogue Per. And started off as a Vogue Night project. So Vogue Nights are like a format that we took over from the States, from New York. It's like intertwining clubbing and ballroom. So you have a few categories, and then there's DJs, and you're pumping the beat, and you're having a good time with the community. So it's not really a ball. It's more like a Vogue night. And that's what the main idea was. And we go beyond that, though. So from the very beginning, we organized these Vogue nights, but at the same time, we also organized community hangouts, workshops with guests that we invited from either our scene or broader from the German scene, sometimes even from international scenes. We do
Community
lectures sometimes. Yeah, the
hangouts.
community hangouts. We do some like what else? Like lectures and panel talks sometimes. We also try to give opportunities to people from the scene to earn some money when we get invited for performances, also. And we have also done activism work. We've been present at demonstrations or fundraisers and so on for marginalized communities. Also did some fundraisers ourselves. And we also organized balls, like major balls. We've organized the Swedish Taboo Ball, which was the first ball that I organized with Ava in 2023, where she actually got me on board, where this whole Me on Mondays thing came to be. Also thanks to Bahnhof Pauli for inviting us in to their house after we did the ball there. And then we did the ball with Mauzo, the What is Art Ball in the Museum für Kunst und Gewerbe.
Yeah, I think that was the first ball in a museum
in Hamburg. I think so too, now that I think about it. I think so, yeah. And Then we also did the Vogelball thing,
Ah, yeah.
the mini ball that was
The
adapted.
Kiki, no?
No, it was a mini ball. Last year, I mean the year before, it was a Kiki from Jada, and she basically said, "I don't have capacity to do this,
Anymore.
so why don't you go for it?" And we did, and it was fun. And
Do you know if you're part of Vogelball this year?
yeah, we are, but it's probably going to be more of a performance setup and less than a. We were still thinking.
Okay, so
But it's in the
Vogelball
works.
is 2nd of August.
Yes, 2nd of August, the same day as Pride. Ooh, there might be a BIPOC Pride or Ballroom Pride bus organized by Mauzo and a few others, I think. So that's interesting. And yeah, that's like the main stuff that I do. But also, I've organized a few parties. So clubbing is also a topic for me. And I'm teaching voguing, but also sometimes teaching workshops in other styles because I trained
Contemporary floor work.
For example, since I did
Sensual
diploma. Yeah, I did this once, but let's count it. What else do? I don't know. I do a lot of things. Sometimes I forget.
Did you say DJing?
Oh, yes, I do DJ.
Yeah, you gave your first DJ workshop.
I did give a workshop, yes. No, it wasn't my first. I gave a workshop in a school, actually.
Like a school?
A school,
Jesus.
like 9th graders, I think. It was, Nebu actually got me on board for this with the Kulturagenten. They had this format where Halil was teaching rap. Nebu was like teaching about dance in the city and culture and music in the city, and DJing and clubbing is part of that. So we had the day where we went to the slot, and downstairs first we had like this rapping thing, and then we split the group, and half of the group came down with me into the club for the first time. The club. And they were able to learn a few buttons and mix a bit. It was an interesting experience, and they were really they thought it was really cool, actually. So that was my first DJ workshop
for children, for younger people.
Yeah. Also the feeling of like, oh my God, we're going in the club. We're going to the club.
I'm a grown up.
And they were like, oh, you're so cool. How do you do that? I'm like, I don't know either. I started DJing like a year ago, but thanks. And then at Attitudes, I had this little intervention DJ workshop. It was more of me playing, and whoever wanted to try it out could come, and I could explain the buttons to them. But what I always say, what I've learned also from the people teaching me, it's not about the mixer or the CDJ. It's about your selection. So yeah, and I can teach you that. That's just taste.
That is one of the hardest things I find as well, to actually do a selection, a lineup. Do you call it lineup? What would you call it?
Selection, I'd say. Okay. Yeah, selection for a gig, or just in general, sorting your music.
Yeah.
Focusing on genres that you want to play.
To curate.
Exactly.
DJs are curators of music.
Sure are. Yeah.
Just to sound, pompous.
I mean,
it is what
it
is.
Yeah. It's an art form.
Anyway, back to the community. So you just listed 500 things that you've done.
Yes.
And it's also quite a short span that you've done them in.
Yes, that's true.
It's been like what?
Yeah.
When did you finish school?
I finished my
college
dance education in 2023,
August. 2 years ago.
Not even 1.5 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
Damn.
but I'd already been active in things before starting the dance education.
Yeah, but you like the well, I didn't really know you that much before either from organizing, but Yeah, before that, I think not really. You were a part of it.
I was a part of it. Sometimes I did organize sessions or something, but it was more of a low-key thing and more of a, young people coming together and like wanting to train. And it was also COVID, no? So there was not much to do. Mm-hmm. So it was.
And boom, here we are.
And here we are.
Do you know what would you say episode, season, number of Meow Mondays you've had? Because it started off with a monthly thing, and I already told you
it started a weekly
thing, and I told you like this is gonna be
too much,
like,
and it was, and it was
free work every week, and then also because of Bahnhof Pauli's capacity, and blah 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 organizing. Because
also in the beginning when. Look, we have this cooperation with Bahnhof Pauli where we get to use the room for free. We just pay for like Umkosten. So like paying for Ramon for the hours that Ramon is like at the bar bartending, or like some of the electricity that we use. It's like a small bill. That's why we also take donations, so we can pay this stuff off. But what we also did was whenever we couldn't, because when they have concert bookings on Mondays or something, obviously we can't use the room. So we would, and we would actually always do something. So if it wasn't possible to access like the Bahnhof, we would literally like do workshops, do film screenings, hangouts, sessions. It was just too much. We were doing the most.
You were doing the most.
Like the most test for nothing. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Well, that's kind of what community work is.
For community. Yes. You get so much because you get so much love and appreciation for the work that you're doing. And that's what makes it all worth it.
Do you remember one event where you're like, where you really felt this gratitude? Like, I mean, I'm not talking about one of the bigger balls where you kind of actually have budget to pay yourself the tiniest bit, but like one event where you're like, damn, this is it. This is the reason.
I think, I mean, the first Meow was super nice. I mean, afterwards, the first, let's not get into that. Community is also means sometimes, having fights, but then coming together and hugging after. No, but the first community thing the first Meow was actually a very beautiful moment, because it was like this vision that I had for like years to start like this Vogue Night project. And I talked to Jada about it, and we talked about it, but it never really happened because just capacity-wise it wasn't possible. And then me and Ava talked about it, and it kind of just came to life so quickly. And then to have this actually happen in Hamburg, it was kind of beautiful. And I think at the first edition it was also quite full, and it was like this whole big thing, new thing for our city that really opened so many doors. And I also do remember our first year anniversary being a really, really nice edition. I mean, there's a few.
The first year.
September last year, where we did like a bigger Meow. I think somebody was celebrating their birthday. Mauto? Me? I don't know. I don't remember. It was just a big celebration. Yeah. It was super cute because everybody pulled up. And I also remember that one time that Andre, my Revlon brother from Brazil, spontaneously, he was in Germany for the Red Bull Dance Your Style. And he came to Hamburg spontaneously. He doesn't speak English. I don't speak Portuguese, so we were just like moving off of vibes, and it was so much fun. I felt like the energy he brought into the room reflected onto everybody, and we were partying so much afterwards. This was also a great addition. And also, apart from Meow, I would say, I mean, the What is Art Ball was quite nice as well,
but you paid yourself for that, right?
We did a bit.
A
bit. That was, the money was, but Fuse was a surprise. Fuse was the New Year's party that Roof and me organized spontaneously. Like we announced it like 5 or 6 days before.
I remember the chat where you were asking everybody like, hey, would you be down?
Yeah. And we were like, fuck it, let's just do it. If we have to pay it off, we will find a way. And it was so nice. So many people came. Yeah. Also unexpectedly, that we didn't really know like would pull up, and irgendwie, it was full. It was a success. It was fun, and it was so short notice, and still we managed to like definitely pay it off, and even pay off some of the DJs and gave a good tip, and even were able to pay ourselves a bit, which we so didn't expect. So that was also a cute moment. That. Yeah.
Miriam.
Yeah.
Well, once we talk about the best, we got to talk about the
worst. Sometimes I do ask myself, why? Why all this trouble? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to my health? My stress levels? Oh, sometimes, it's not the most rewarding thing, actually. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Definitely not. But I don't understand, like, I'm definitely in the same boat as you are, but I like, why don't we stop?
I think it's also a feeling of responsibility, you know? It feels like, okay, if we stop, who's gonna do it?
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen, and who's gonna be able to do this the way that we did it, or who has the capacity or the knowledge or the willingness to do this without like what has already been built. And it is a bit of, I think it's also hard to let go of something that you've built up, no? Like you've seen how it can flourish, you see how people enjoy it and how like it has been becoming a thing, you know? And to just say, okay, enough, it's hard, no? Also for ego, I think a bit.
Yeah. Like every time I think about like, oh fuck Hamburg, I'm over it, I want to move away, I'm like,
no,
wait,
don't say that. I love the city.
Yeah, but then I'm like, everything that I've built up here, I would just leave.
Yeah, right.
Because
it's
you
like
would go
leaving
to
a part of you.
Yeah. And all the work that you've done.
Yeah, and then start from zero, start from scratch somewhere else.
Bye.
That's hard.
Yeah.
And how? It's not going to be
nobody knows you. Nobody knows what you can do. And
I mean, unless you're in ballroom, you'll always have friends anywhere. Everywhere you go,
but friends is not the same as like a network.
That's true. You do have a network with ballroom. That's very
true.
special. I have to say, one thing about ballroom that's very, very special that I very much value is wherever you go, you kind of find like-minded people.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of drama and ego.
Girl, your eyes went to the back of your fucking head.
Well, I've done this for 8 years now, so I've experienced quite a few things. But generally, I feel like there's always some sort of support system in almost every city, almost every country that you are.
Yeah.
And that is something unique and special that I feel like if we talk about dance community or something,
that is not
I wouldn't
same.
call it that, you know, it's just not the same thing. It doesn't provide the same thing, in my opinion, what, you know, community values are or can give. And that's very special.
Yeah.
So,
so what city would you move to?
I would stay here. No, I don't even know. Like, I want to definitely visit New York and see what's tea over there. I wouldn't move to the US though, because it's crazy out there. I mean, it's not much better at the moment in Germany.
Well,
it is better, but it is scary.
We're waiting.
But I do want to see what the hype is all about, because a lot of the things that I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've had this dream of going to New York. I don't know. It started with me wanting to do musical and then moved on to me being just a dancer and then me being in ballroom. And all of this is kind of like having
it's niching down, you know. It's finding your niche.
Yeah.
From Broadway to ballroom.
Right? BB. Same thing.
Oop.
And there is Cats, the musical, which is like the Jingle Ball. So that's ballroom and musical.
Oh my God, did you watch some of the Jingle Ball?
No, I didn't. Same. I mean, I wasn't in New York. And I guess I could find out.
I want to see if there's something online.
Clips. Probably.
There must be. That's iconic.
Yes. Maybe that's like a starter for a new project. I don't know. Maybe I should check out New York.
No stealing.
No, but definitely New York. I want to check it out. I don't know if I could live there though. And otherwise, I could not be in Berlin.
Yeah.
There was a time where
Berlin
I considered it, but nah. I mean, there was a time where I considered moving there for 3 months or something for a project, not long term. Let's make that clear. So
now you've
the
like
city is draining.
Yeah. And now this is your quote unquote home.
Yes. Hamburg. Home.
What is the Hamburg chant? 040?
Hamburg. 040, es brennt. Hamburg, ja. Also ich liebe, I love the city.
Yes.
Because it's beautiful,
it is.
Especially when the sun is shining.
Oh my God, everybody's out and about.
Right, it's like the city's alive, and I live by the Alster now, so it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I just go out sometimes, get myself an ice cream, and just walk around. And also, I feel like the community here is like the perfect size because
it's also very young, so it's like
young.
It's able to shape.
We're able to shape like what it looks like here, and I feel like there's a lot of people from my generation right now that are like doing things, and I'm not just talking ballroom, I'm talking hip hop, I'm talking crump, I'm talking DJing, clubbing, a lot of collectives, a lot of people that have like a vision, and people are very much underestimating Hamburg because whenever they come here, they're like, oh my God, it was so much fun, so much was going on, because I feel like in the past 2 years after COVID was like over, I mean, who knows, but over officially, things started really, really flourishing over here. We have so many amazing things going on, and it's also nice because it's not like an over
saturated
thing. I mean, a bit sometimes, but not in a way that Berlin, where you have everything.
Ooh. We're gonna have to be right back after our commercial break from our sponsor,
which is hello. My name is Zaniah, and I'm sponsoring this week's episode. And if you want to know more about me and keep updated with me, myself, and I, then you can follow me at Zahra, Zahra .Zaniah, ZANIH on Instagram, and also follow our collective at meowmondays.haha or at planetmarcy.de. Thank you.
Oh my god, what an absolutely gorgina sponsor.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much, sponsor.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What were you saying? Hamburg, hometown, if you know this brand. Here, yeah. Mm-hmm. What I also find in comparison to all the other big cities in Germany, is that it's also very women-led.
Yes, very Flinter.
Very Flinter. Like, if you look at, especially I see it in the hip-hop scene, like how many hip-hop girlies we have.
That's true.
It's, like, impressive.
It is. It's really beautiful. And I think that makes it... I feel like it makes a change in... someone called me?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Oh, that's you. Okay. I was like, who's that? It makes a difference in how things are being handled sometimes, because I feel like a lot of times when there's this like strong masculine energy, I feel like conflict is not approached in a way where we get to talking, or we get to like solutions, and we get to like working together.
Or how even like, because I feel like conflict arises less at Flint organized
that's
things.
true. And now I've lost my partner, I think.
Sorry.
No, let me think.
Flint organized conflicts, male energy, not ready to something.
Yeah, I feel like generally something that I've realized, or what I've talked about with my colleagues, is it's so funny. I feel like Flinter people give more care to the things that they do, because maybe it hasn't been as selbstverständlich. I don't know how to say it. Like, it hasn't been as easy to gain access to things, because a lot of the world, obviously, and a lot of like also dance world subcultures are often led by patriarchal standards, or male presenting people, male read people, and so having built access to these things, there's more of a care and more of a feeling of, okay, what do we actually need to feel seen, to feel cared for, to feel safe, because we have experienced it so much that we felt the opposite.
Exactly.
So I think that's why generally less conflict arises, because there's more precautions taken for people to feel comfort and to feel safety. And I think that's a very beautiful thing for Hamburg. I feel like also ballroom-wise, which is really nice, is that I feel like we have more fun here. Maybe that's not even like Flinter related, but I think it's, I don't know, the energy the city gives. Maybe that is like an overall thing that is because of this like strong like
the youth
and like female leadership. Is that we try to have fun, we try to have a good time, we try to not compete with each other so much, and I think that's beautiful. I feel like there's much more of an uplifting happening here than in other cities. I feel like less, it's less Ellbogen.
I wanted to say competition mentality.
Yes, I feel like it's more of a how can we uplift each other, how can we make the best out of what we have. And
it's giving the house of Hamburg.
Yes, it's so nice. And of course conflict arises. It's everywhere. We can't, especially with community. I read this thing or saw this thing recently. The price for having community is annoyance, because there's this thing of like, some things are just part of being around people. Sometimes people need support that maybe you wouldn't want to hang out with all the time, but you still value them for who they are and what they go through. And as like a community member, of course, you want everyone to be good, even if maybe it may be an annoyance for you in that moment. But, you know, being part of community means having each other's backs. And I feel like now I forgot what I said.
That's all right. But you said something.
I said something.
You said it. You said.
I said it. I think it's like the beeping sometimes of the phone. I'm like,
sorry.
no, it's okay. It's me too.
Overstimulation.
Yes, it's unfiltered and undiagnosed.
Yep.
So right on brand.
Yeah.
Too quickly. That's why it's always been like that. My handwriting is so bad.
What does that have to do with your? Because you have to write fast.
Because I have to write fast because I have so many things in my head that I need to like get down. I'm also left-handed, by the way. So when I write, it's like I have to write quickly before I forget.
Oh.
So then I write with ugly handwriting because otherwise
it's giving dictation. Maybe that's.
I guess.
Maybe that could be a tool.
Dictation, yeah, could be.
Could. But that would be work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Competition was something.
Yeah, but you said we were talking about like the
yeah.
Flinta lead and how that changes the whole mentality of it all.
Yes,
yeah.
I do love what we're doing here. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say something about exactly like this thing of uplifting each other. Is I think something that's very unique. I mean, we have this power gruppe where cultural practitioners, community builders, and so on and so on from different like culture related, like subculture related scenes, like hip hop, dancing in general, ballroom, subcultural, clubbing, come together and form this alliance of like, hey, we update each other on what's going on,
who's doing
what, maybe also opportunities for us, and like this thing of like, okay, we have this strong together hold, which is also only possible, I think, because we're such a tight-knit community, and in big cities like Berlin or whatever, there's just so many people doing their own thing, so many sub-communities. It's very hard to like intertwine. Yeah. And I think that's something very special about Hamburg, that the communities are so intertwined. You will see the hip-hop and crumpers at like ballroom events and vice versa. Yeah. You know, you will see all the dancers come to clubbing events and so on and give their energy. All of these things, also the Born to Sing community, like the singing community, also being included in like other event types. It's like a lot coming together, and I think that's very special.
Yeah, but I think definitely like age has a big thing to do with it, because no offense to us in our work, but it is very one generation or that generation and younger. But it's also because we come from we just think differently in a kind of way.
I guess.
And also looking at like the in quote unquote queer history, it's giving gay.
You mean Hamburg?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
the way that we're thinking intersectionally is not necessarily how older generations think.
No. If you go into these spaces as well that are not from us, by us, you can feel the difference. And it's even at Pride. Like you would, I was out there with one of my girls, and she's trans.
On the parade?
Yeah, on the parade, because I had just moved to the area, and we woke up and we're like, fuck it, let's just go down, have fun. And we were like looking for a trans flag, and there was nobody in sight. From all of the people, it was crazy. So I think after like an hour we saw one, and it's like, we're at Pride right now, right? How is it possible that there's mainly white gays and white lesbians here? So this is also how I think Mauzo, and I don't know who exactly is also involved in this, but started thinking, hey, we need our own truck. Yeah. You know, we need to be represented here because it's strong underrepresented. And not to dismiss what they have done at the time. I mean, it was revolutionary. I think a lot that happened in Hamburg, a lot of the protests, like marches and so on and so on.
And this queer church.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Stuff.
I mean, it's very much like special also for German queer history, but nowadays it's just not moving further, opening it up more. I feel if you also go to certain events.
That reminds me of like my old ballet director who is legendary, but it's like when is it time for a leader who was once revolutionary? When is it their time?
Yeah. It's hard to step down. I think it takes a lot of like self-reflection, and it takes a lot to be able to put your ego down and say, you know what, I see what I've done, but I see that
I can't give it
I can't
anymore,
give
yeah.
that anymore, and that somebody else needs to take over, and that doesn't mean that my legacy's over. It
Yeah.
still lives on, but it's hard, I think, because it's something you've built for your whole life, and
And you still think that you're doing the right thing.
right, and also to put your name on something that you're not actively involved in feels hard, because it's like this losing of control. And me as a Virgo, I do relate to that. Control, yeah. I like to be in charge and make decisions.
And then complain about it being too much.
Yes. But you know what? I just do it well. So I'd rather do it myself. And you do this too. You're a Taurus. So.
Yeah, but I'm working on it. I'm
working on it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not alone. It is a collective.
Yes.
And community is also people around. So have I ever organized some? Yes. I did organize one community, Kiki. That was my very first thing, actually, in December 23, that I did alone. But other than that, I think I was always in collaboration.
The one in that studio.
Yes, Studio Hammerdeich. Yeah, that was
Studio Hammerdeich.
That was my first thing that I organized by myself. And everything else, I mean, other than like Marciano stuff where I organize practices and so on and so on, it's always in collaboration. So I do value collaboration and support a lot. It's just I like to take charge on certain things.
Yeah. I completely understand.
Yes, Mama Brownie.
Oh.
Not mother for no reason.
So, I mean, we do a lot of community work. It's rewarding giving. Yeah. But what is something that you like wish from the community? Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want it to make it seem like you're ungrateful or whatever, but you know, there's still a human behind there.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and I think seeing that it's a human behind there.
Yeah.
Because that's something that happens once you're a community leader. People don't see you as a regular human being with emotions and needs and stress and trauma.
That's why we're both still single.
Yes. People are so intimidated and so scared. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, I'm 23. I'm chilling. I'm like younger than most of you. Like,
yo, that keeps amazing me. You are 23. When I was 23, I don't know. I was not where you are now.
I'm also glad to be surrounded by a lot of people that have shown me like how to do it. So that also made me being able to be this at 23, I think. But one thing that happens a lot, I feel like once you're in a position of leadership, people like to project all the bad things that happen on you as well. It's good things, but of course we always remember the bad things. So whenever something feels bad or wrong or whatever in the scene, it's the person that's on the mic that it's my fault. And I'm like, wow, first of all, I'm not doing this by myself. Second of all, some of these things are not even related to me, but it's this thing that there's multiple people behind something, but the person's face that you see the most is the target. And I feel like that happens to me quite a bit. I feel like it has become better, and we have found ways as a community to move beyond that, but I feel like that's also the burden of the community leaders, and I'm not the only one that feels that way. That's a general thing that happens everywhere in all communities, and I think that's also part of it. And I understand why some people at some point want to let go of the responsibility, because it's a lot to feel responsible for everything. The good things, the bad things, the complicated things, to have that title of like, okay, you have to do something about it, and you have to have these conversations, and you have to solve these conflicts. And it's like, we never studied this. I'm not a social worker. I'm not any of these things. We're all just learning by doing. And there's like these high expectations of you as a person, and people forget that you have a life, right? You have to pay bills. You're self-employed. You're an artist. You want to build your career. You have trauma from your childhood. Maybe you're sad because you're single. I mean, I'm good. I don't know about you. How do you feel about it?
Wow, just call me out on my singlehood.
Okay, I wouldn't be mad, but right now it's not like I'm, like crying about it. So we're good. But all of these things are just things that people forget. Yeah. Like, yes, sometimes I'm in a bad mood. I'm still here though. I'm still showing up. I'm still showing up. I'm trying not to make you feel my mood. Sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes I had a shitty day. I have a headache, but I can't cancel. So here I am showing up. So
I feel like, and a lot of people express that they want to contribute. Yeah. but that's where it ends.
Right.
Like saying like, oh yeah,
I
this could be
wanna
better, I
help.
want to do this,
Yes.
and then at the end of the day it's not necessarily a person that would show up.
Yes. And I feel like oftentimes it's also a way of like, okay, seeing of what is actually a necessary contribution.
Yeah.
And also what are actually my capacities and capabilities, because also wanting to do something doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea to do so. And that's also difficult, because one thing with control that I find difficult is you feel responsible for the things that go on here in the city, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's also hard to trust that without like being part of something, things will go good. Of course, people need to do things, people need to experience organizing and experience also failure sometimes. But it's hard because it feels like, damn, if something goes wrong,
it's
it's my fault. It's my scene.
Yeah.
It's our scene. You know,
Yeah.
the people that are like, you know, maybe like the ballroom coven or something. And it's gonna be like, damn, people talking about Hamburg and whatever went on here, and then what's going on in your scene?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. I'm not part of this. So yeah, that's also a thing. But yeah, also the help thing, I feel like, yeah, I mean, it starts with small things, no? Like cleaning the benches at the end of Meow Mondays, or I don't know, helping at the front, at the door, because there's a like handful of people that do that. And the rest, I mean, it's nice. Contributing with the donation is, of course, also helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, but it's just, you know, two people that build everything up from scratch every week, bring the snacks, do the communication, and so on and so on. So some physical help sometimes, you know. It's like really the small things that make the difference.
Yeah,
take off the weight. Yeah.
Give us your hands, and if you don't have hands, give us the money.
Exactly. Or do both if you feel like it.
Yeah, whatever you have capacity for.
Whatever you have.
And if you don't, that's completely understandable too, and be honest about it.
Right. Right.
Honesty, I think that's one thing that is I guess kind of a critique to community.
Yeah.
Just to be honest about it. Be like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing so good, I can't show up right now.
Yeah.
But oh my god, that brings me to one thing that I absolutely dislike. I was gonna say the H word. Is like if you have an event and the people don't show up and then they apologize for it. And I'm like,
what am I supposed to say now?
Yeah. Like, or they see you and they say, oh, I didn't come because blah, 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 and I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, girl.
Yeah. I have this feeling, because nowadays I'm like more like, whatever. Because it's like, you know what? Life is life, and the way that I hold standards to myself, not everybody has to have these high ass standards that we have for ourselves to show up everywhere, even though we're tired and sad and whatever. And I think it's also toxic to do that, but it's like the standard we set for ourselves, I think, also as community organizers, because knowing what it feels like when no one shows up, you know, being able to relate makes us like have the fire under our asses to actually do get up and show up. So I have kind of adapted more to the fuck it, you know, it's fine, but it does sting sometimes because it's like you put all this effort in and it's like, I really don't need to do this. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm not earning money out of this. If I earn something, it's like 100 for like 3 months of work. If my rent is short and I take something out of the money, you know, like something like this. I think that's the barest of minimums, if you can even call it that. And then to think, damn, I'm doing this for all these people and they're not even showing up. And that was what happened a lot in Meow Mondays in the beginning when it was weekly. Yeah. Because it's like, well, if it's too available, people don't appreciate it anymore. And it's like, wow, I don't have to be here every week. Yeah. I mean, I'm also part of the community, but, you know, if there's no need, if there's no interest, then why should I break my back to do these things?
Yeah. Yeah, it's this balance of like how many times and of when are you doing it because you need word phrasing, rewind.
Rewind. Pull up.
Like what I feel like when I host or organize, then I don't necessarily feel as part of the community. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're not having the fun.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was judging and I was like, at Meow, because we were like short of judges.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I get why people enjoy this. Oh my God, this is so much fun. But even judging, I feel the pressure of like, are you doing it well? But still, it's like, wow, now I understand. Because if you're like busy being in charge, busy organizing, busy having responsibility, you don't even get to be part of the experience because you are providing it, right? Story of our lives, I think.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't gone to a community thing in a while where I don't feel responsible. And even like if I come to Meow or if I come to whatever, I feel responsible to help.
I get it. It's crazy. Also, when I go clubbing, I don't go clubbing, because I feel like I have to learn something right now. I have to use this day to like, first of all, dance so my DJ friends feel supported. And second of all, I don't know, understand what's going on so that I could like take Fazit out of like events that I might go in the future to. Yeah, it's weird, right? Because you can't just fully go and like have fun. I feel like I can do that when I'm in a different city though. Like Rio, I was having a time.
Brazil is a whole nother story.
Oi, gente. No, because that was the first time in a long time where I just went partying without like
the pressure
of performing or the pressure of like, I don't know, showing up, but rather just I'm going out and I'm seeing and I'm having fun and I'm hearing and I'm like enjoying.
Yeah. I think that's maybe one of my guilty pleasures is just to go to either a typical gay party or go to like sometimes straight parties are really fun too because it's like I don't give a fuck about anything that's happening here.
Yeah, I can't relate. It's tough out here. I feel like at straight parties for a person dancing like I do in the club. It's an interesting experience.
Sometimes.
Very interesting experience.
Yeah. But sometimes they're so intimidated that they just leave you alone.
They do as well. But then again, I also can't really enjoy myself because people are not dancing and then they're looking at me. Yeah. They're like, oh, she's dancing. So
no, you need to be at least two people.
Yeah.
At least.
But it,
But sometimes when me and the dolls go to a straight club, I'm like,
it's a change of scenery,
Yeah.
A new cut, a new color, a new hairdo.
Feeling like a Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Well, this was such an insight, and I wonder how people are going to receive this of us spilling the tea. Well, you spilling the tea.
I mean, I have more to spill, but let's keep it
cute, demure.
And I love Hamburg.
Yeah,
I love Hamburg.
I think that's really clear.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm young, right? I should see the world. I mean, I've seen a lot of the world. I'm grateful for that. But maybe I should live somewhere else for a bit to see what it's like, to also be out of your comfort zone. But I am comfort out of it so much. I travel so much. I don't feel like it's nice to have
being
a base
freelancer
here.
when you're ever comfortable,
right? So I mean, who knows, maybe one day another city will pull me, but right now I'm so happy here and I'm happy to see what's going on and be part of it, even though it's hard sometimes. But I feel like we're working on
it's a work in progress
and I feel like most of us are working to a similar goal, and that's great.
Communism.
I mean, I did join the party. I haven't been to a single meeting yet because I'm kind of scared of being next to white leftists. But I thought, hey, can I do something? Maybe it is the answer.
Let's see what happens.
Bedingungsloses Grundeinkommen. That would be great. Yeah. For everyone in the world. I think that would be world peace. And who wants that? Not capitalism.
Who wants world peace? Yeah, that's
capitalism does not want that. Demands our sacrifice every day.
Well, I'm Mama Brownie.
And I'm Mother Zaniah.
And you're listening to Unfiltered and
Undiagnosed.
Bye.
Mwah.
Zaza.
Cheers.
Cute.